What up, Doc?
Rock and roll!
Before the Osbournes became America's favorite dysfunctional family,
Sharon!
before Ozzy himself became a presidential house guest,
Ozzy, Mom loves your stuff.
before he and his clan became the toast of the international media, before all that, Ozzy Osbourne was the presiding legend of Ozzfest, the world's wildest rock tour.
That is metal!
You can imagine the behind-the-scenes stories here, and now, at last, you're going to hear them.
Oh, you know about this?
Yes, MTV has dug it all up. Even the embarrassing stuff the Osbournes themselves would rather forget about.
I was a big Hanson fan.
The Demon Sea!
Yes, here it all comes, the good, the bad, the ridiculous. The naked truth about Ozzfest, uncensored. Back in the early 90s, it was nothing new for Marilyn Manson, who lived up to every bit of his controversial reputation on both of his Ozzfest outings.
1997 was the year of Marilyn Manson.
He was getting protests everywhere he went. It seemed like every show, they were trying to stop the show.
He has no morals, and he's spreading it to young people.
He was the Antichrist.
Not only was Marilyn Manson in jeopardy, but also rock music in general and the Constitution of the United States.
As a Christian, I also have the right to say, no, I don't want him here.
If they're gonna promote evil here, we're gonna lift Jesus higher.
Why do people think that kids are stupid? They're not stupid. They know what they're buying a ticket for. They knew they weren't going to see the Dixie Chicks.
There always has to be the one person where people can look at and be like, oh my God, look what he's done. Look what he says in his lyrics. Right now it's Eminem. It was Manson. In the 80s, it was my dad.
Marilyn Manson, he's an artist like anybody else. He's not satanic. He's a bit extreme, but he's a really nice friend. He's a good friend of mine.
So we went to the Ozzfest show, and then we also went and we interviewed the president of his fan club. What we did was we took that president of the fan club to Ozzfest that year.
How are you feeling about meeting Manson today?
I'm pretty excited. I'm a little nervous.
Part of his shtick on stage was to cut himself, and he came right backstage and sat down to do an interview with us. And the whole time he's doing the interview, he's bleeding from his nipple. And as soon as the interview ends, he looks at himself. He went and he got those brown paper towels to wipe himself up. And they had a little meeting, and Manson split out of there.
Are we all done?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to see the doctor.
And when he split out of there, I saw her reach over onto the counter and pick up these bloody paper towels and keep them for herself.
Even though Marilyn Manson getting into trouble is about as rare as a cop in a donut factory, the wiry rock star is in hot water again.
It's good to be back in Florida!
Ozzfest 2001, Manson got accused of putting his scrot on some guy's head.
I guess there were charges pressed against him.
He didn't rub his crotch. It was like he pulled his out and put it on some guy.
He wears a thong on stage, and, you know, sometimes it'll pop out.
He must have had an awful long willy to get from the stage to the security guy's neck.
You're a security guard at the Ozzfest? It's probably the best thing that happened to you all day, for God's sakes.
It's a waste of everybody's time and effort.
Manson's crotch attack lawsuit was eventually settled out of court for $4,000.